Hello, everybody. Nigel Sarbatts, founder of the PR Cavalry and co-founder with Rod Cartwright of the Independent Impact 50 Awards. And I'm delighted to be joined by Jessica Shepherd, one of the winners of our inaugural awards this year. We are interviewing a number of the winners to ask them the same 5 questions. And I'll start by asking Jessica to two simple questions at the preamble to say what prompted you to step out of employment or kind of normal standard employment into a freelance independent role, and what kind of work and do you do and what kind of clients do you work with at the moment? So Jessica, welcome. So what prompted you to go freelance?
Thank you, Nigel. Great to be chatting to you. What prompted me? Well, just to give you a bit of context, that I used to be the education correspondent of The Guardian. I had quite a long career in journalism, and then I moved into communications at UCL, and then to government communications. I also worked for an education charity. But when I was in government communications, I sort of hankered for going back into education, but really kind of working for myself, having that flexibility. And I thought about the kind of clients that I would really like to work for. I saw some of what others were doing in terms of sort of freelance or consultancy, independent consultancy. And I thought that would really work well for me. I'm quite sort of self-driven. And I thought it would work well for my personality, and be a really sort of exciting challenge. It also sadly coincided with the time when my mum was very ill and in a hospice, and it gave me a more flexibility in terms of sort of working as well. So I think it really suited my life choices, and since then it's suited me ever since. So it was a fantastic career move for me.
Okay.
What do I do? So I founded Sparrowhawk Communications, and we are an education communications consultancy. So the main clients are multi-academy trusts, that's chains of schools, state schools, and colleges, universities, ed techs, education charities, education suppliers. Obviously, anyone really, and also early years provision, such as nursery, anyone who is working in and among the education sector. I help them with a team of associates to raise their profile, reach their key audiences. So sometimes that's the media, sometimes that's policymakers, other times it's parents or community organizations, with engaging communications that help them to find their place in their market, really.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
there's crisis communications, media training. I work with a filmmaker who does promotional films for schools, prospectuses, all the sort of the
Yeah.
communications, marketing and PR needs of the education sector.
Okay. Thank you. So, first of the 5 questions that we're posing to all of our participants in these videos, what did it mean to you to be included in the inaugural Independent Impact 50 Awards, and why?
Yeah, it was really fantastic. It was a wonderful surprise. I don't think there's anything comparable to those awards, which is sort of really telling. So it's recognition for that the work that as independent consultants that we do, which is so much needed and so appreciated. And I think that it's also testament to the growing population of independent consultants, and that we are a force to be reckoned with. There's an awards for us, so we have our place in the PR, comms, and marketing sector, and it's a really wonderful thing. When I look at other awards, but other awards are fantastic, but often there isn't that much. There aren't as many opportunities for independent consultants to take part for various reasons, whether that's financial or that it's just sort of geared around a sort of a set in-house team sometimes.
Okay, thank you. So question 2, what behaviors by clients have most surprised you since going independent, be they positive or not so positive?
I really love the education sector that I work with. So, it has been almost all positive. I think the thing that sort of the behavior that surprised me was I was assuming that clients would prefer to work with a known entity, perhaps an in-house agency, and that they would be fairly risk averse when it comes to sort of an independent consultant, albeit sort of a small team, but effectively sort of one person or a few people. I thought that they would have sort of a few worries about that, but actually that was really wrong. And they I know that they recognize that it can often be sort of more cost effective for them to work with an independent consultant, but also that they know they're going to get someone really senior who's really passionate about their own business. Often not the case, but sometimes there are juniors that sort of in an in-house team that might be put on certain clients, and with an independent consultant, it's us that do the work, that get the work, and we're doing it because we're passionate about it. So I think that really surprised me. I think that I was also surprised at how keen they were to sort of have an advisory role for quite a long time. So a lot of my clients I've worked with for quite a few years now, and I assumed it would be more kind of project by project. But no, they'd like to work, for quite a long time with the independent consultants. So that's been really lovely as well to find out.
Okay, thank you. And we have to imagine that you're having lunch with the CEOs of the CIPR and the PRCA. What's the one thing you want them to understand about practicing as an independent and about the role and importance of the independent sector overall?
I think they do already know that independent consultants take continuing professional development really seriously. It's really vital for us to make sure that we know that we have the latest sort of skills. But sometimes I think those organisations, their training programs can be a bit prohibitive because they are quite expensive. And if you're a one-person band, or if you're sort of a small team of associates, you can't really afford hundreds of pounds for 1 day, 2 day course. So it would be really good to talk to them about how they can provide CPD for independent consultants that is even more flexible and that is cost effective as well.
Okay, thank you. So question 4 is, you meet Jessica as you weigh up whether you should go it alone. What do you say to her?
I think I say to her that you think you're going to be on your own working from home, and that sounds a bit maybe even lonely, but actually there's a sense of camaraderie among independent practitioners, consultants, that is there for you, and that can be, it feels like you've got colleagues. So do not worry about that side of things. And I've been so fortunate in that respect, because there have been wonderful networks of independent consultants that I've tapped into on WhatsApp, on Facebook. I know, Nigel, you have one yourself, which is really, really useful. And I've also sort of found people who are independent consultants in the education sector. And I know that sort of, if I'm not sure about something, I know that I can go to them, they can go to me. Of course, sometimes we're competing for the same clients, but there is a feeling of camaraderie. And wow, that's really an important thing when, it's just you that you've got to sort of be accountable to.
Okay, thank you. And the final question of our 5, what words would you use to sum up how you feel about your business in the next 12 months?
I'm excited. I've now been working as an independent consultant for 5 years, just under, and I feel that I know a bit more now the direction I'm going in. I know which area I'd like to have more clients in, how to make sure that some of the clients that are really rewarding but pay less are offset by some other clients that are really rewarding but pay a bit more. It's a balancing act, but once you've been through sort of several cycles of the year, of course things always change, but you can feel a bit more confident about the strategic direction of the business. So I think I feel excited about some of the potential new clients I'm talking to, and excited as well about sort of gaining new skills. AI is obviously, uppermost on our minds, and how that's going to have an impact on our businesses, among other topics. But I'm trying to keep up to date with that, and use all the sort of opportunities for CPD. So I think generally a little bit worried perhaps about AI, but excited about the opportunities that it offers, but positive.
Well, thank you, Jessica. Thank you for your answers. And thank you for entering this year. I hope you will consider entering again next year, as you were perfectly entitled to do. And I hope that you will perhaps also think about tapping a few people on the shoulder that you know who you think ought to enter, some of those peers that you've mentioned. But in the meantime, thanks again. It's been a great pleasure talking to you as always, and I hope to see you again soon.
My pleasure. Thanks, Nigel.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.